Assemblies. What are assemblies? These are binary files. These can be DLLs or EXEs, just as we're used to with programming. If you're programming within most environments, you're going to produce an EXE, and DLLs can be libraries. And this is familiar with working with COM binaries from the previous classic type programming within Microsoft, but things are a lot different. This actually, an assembly, is actually a new type of file format. This new type of file format doesn't rely on the registry. It doesn't rely on all the craziness of what we were doing before as far as having DLLs overlapping and causing problems and conflicts. This has really been replaced with a nice robust way to work. Our assemblies are actually composed of CIL, which used to be called MSIL, and this is the Common Intermediate Language, used to be called the Microsoft Intermediate Language, but as we move forward into a specification that is going to be worldwide for everybody, it's now called the Common Intermediate Language, and also assemblies are composed heavily of metadata, and a metadata can be viewed as a manifest. So what is that CIL code? Well, this is actually very similar to Java bytecode, and this is in the effect that it's not actually compiled to a platform-specific instruction until actually you need it. So just-in-time compilation. And this is very typical of the Java environment, and this is the way that the .NET framework works as well. And again, that common language runtime helps us out there with that just-in-time compilation. Now, this manifest that I'm talking about here and the metadata, this is really improved over what we were doing before with programming, particularly COM and that classic environment. This manifest is actually going to contain information about the current version of this assembly that we're working with. It's going to give us information like the localizing strings, for example, image resources or other resources that are contained within this assembly, and then a list of all the externally referenced assemblies that are needed to actually execute the assembly that we're working with. You can also have single file assemblies and multi-file assemblies. Now, most of your assemblies are going to be single file, but you can have multi-file assemblies as well. By working with multi-file assemblies, this is a very big application, you're going to be able to have multiple modules. You're going to be writing very modular code, and this can help within the development environment quite a lot. So think of that, a single file assembly is just going to put everything within one assembly, but multi-file assemblies are going to allow everyone to work very, very efficiently because they're able to work on different assemblies, and you can replace them as you need to with ease. So in terms of what we're going to be doing here and within the training, we're going to get a lot more into assemblies, of course. This is just to give you that high level that we're creating DLLs or EXEs. This is all new type of format. This is going to be a lot easier to program and to distribute our programs because we're not going to rely on the registry, some really intense install routines, and we're not going to be stepping on other applications with our DLLs. So we'll get into more details as we move forward. This is just to get you started and let you understand how assemblies work and what the whole thing behind assemblies are, because you're actually creating DLLs or EXEs.